Hello, students. Do you want to know what is 2 plus 2 equals 4? Of course, it's true. Today, we're going to make our material a bit more complex. Not just for fun, but for practice as well. And for the sake of aesthetics, too. Let's select the image with the spaceship and open the shader editor. Here's the idea. I want the spaceship, after appearing on the screen, to gradually change its opacity from 0 to 100%. Such an appearance will be much more impressive. But right now, our material is in alpha clip mode. This means we can't smoothly change the opacity. If I disable the alpha channel and drag the opacity slider left and right, you'll see that there's no smooth transition. The spaceship completely disappears if the opacity value is less than half and reappears fully if opacity is greater than half. So, the first thing we need to do is switch the material to alpha blend mode. Now, opacity changes will smoothly transition from 0 to 1. Next point. Now our spaceship has a black square around it. And if we connect the alpha channel, we lose the ability to adjust opacity. We need to somehow make the black area transparent while retaining the ability to smoothly change the opacity of the remaining part with the spaceship. To illustrate this, let's connect the alpha channel directly to the output. You can do it manually by dragging a wire there, or you can simply press Ctrl-Shift and left-click on the texture block. Our texture will be connected directly to the output channel. Click again on the block with Ctrl-Shift held down. Now the connection has moved to the next output, and we can see what our alpha channel looks like. It's simply a black and white mask that tells us which area will be transparent and to what extent. Completely black color means 0. So, in this area, the object will have an opacity value of 0, meaning it will be completely transparent. While white represents 1. Looking at this image, it becomes clear that we simply need to add black color to the white area. Then the object will be transparent everywhere. And if we gradually add black color, creating a range from white to gray, and then to absolute black, the object will change opacity gradually. Let's try to implement this scheme in the simplest way. Add a mix color block. Connect the alpha channel from the texture to the first slot. In the second slot, open the palette and select an absolute black color by dragging the value slider to 0, or by dragging this slider down to the end. Now, click Ctrl-Shift left-click on this block to see what we have. You can now notice that the white area is no longer purely white. It has become gray. Currently, our block works in mix mode. This means it blends to inputs in a specified proportion. Right now, our slider is in the middle, and we can see a value of 0.5. This means both channels are mixed evenly, 50-50. If we move the slider to the left, to the value of 0, it means we will see only the first channel. Now, our alpha mask has returned to its previous state. And if we move the slider to the right to the value of 1, it means we will see only the second channel, just pure black. In principle, we can leave it like this, because the scheme works. But I suggest changing the mode to multiply. In this mode, the first slot will add the second one, but only if the second slot is darker. And our second slot is completely black, as far as I remember. But the first slot has a white area. Now, by moving the slider to the right, we'll add black color only to the area with white color. By turning the slider to the maximum, we will completely fill the white color with black. Now let's connect everything as it was. Shader to the output. And connect the color mix block to the opacity channel. Try dragging the slider back and forth. Enjoy it. Now, the most challenging part. Now we need to somehow change this value dynamically in our game. Unfortunately, not all blocks can be controlled using nodes. For example, if we select the texture block and open the right panel, not the right panel in the viewport, but the right panel in the shader editor. By the way, it also opens with the N key. Just make sure the mouse cursor is in the shader editor window. So here we go. Let's select the texture and go to the Memory tab in the right panel. There, we'll see a very important parameter called parameter. If we see it there, it means we can link the selected block to a logic branch. But if we select the color mix block, we'll see that the parameter is missing. And that's quite sad, because we need to change the value of the factor precisely on this block. But don't be sad for too long, because there is a way out. Let's add a value block from the input section. See here, it has a parameter. Let's activate this parameter with a checkmark and connect the block to the factor. Now, try moving the slider on the value block from 0 to 1. Now we can change the opacity, and we have the ability to do it in a logic branch. There's just one important thing left. We need to change the name of this block to something more unique. Let's select the value block and switch to the Node tab. There's a field with a name. Let's change it to Opacity Player. In the logic branch, we will refer to this block by its name. Let's go to the logic node editor and open the game init branch. And let's conduct an experiment. Add two keyboard blocks and select two keys, for example, 0 and 1. Set them to started mode. Now, let's try to change the opacity parameter using them. We need another block for this. It's in the material section and is called Set Material Value Parameter. This block will change the value of the value block in our material. We must specify which material we will look for the required block in. So we need another material block from the material section. In this block, we select our material. If you've done everything correctly and haven't been lazy about renaming everything you create, then it's called player image. Connect the material block to the material input. Now our block knows where to look for the required block. Now, we just need to specify the name of that block. If you forgot it, you can switch to the shader editor, copy the name of the block from the right panel, go back to the logic node editor, open the game init branch, and paste the name into the node field. Connect the keyboard block to the input. And now, to avoid confusion, let's switch back to the shader editor. And look at the values we will need again. So here it is, when the slider is at 0, we see the spaceship. When the slider is at 1, the spaceship disappears completely. Now, go back to the logic editor. Set the value to 1 for the 0 key. This means that when the 0 key is pressed, the factor slider will be set to 1, which means our object will be completely transparent. Copy the configured block, connect it to the 1 key, and change the value to 0. Now, pressing the 1 key will change the opacity to completely non-transparent. Let's check if it worked. Beauty. Everything works. Now, let's try to smoothly change the opacity. And, as always, we'll do it in the simplest way. For this, we need a tween float block from the mathematics section. This block distributes a specified range of values over a specified time interval. I'll switch to a test scene and explain it in more detail with a simple example. Let's quickly assemble the scheme. When the spacebar is pressed, we'll start the process. We'll output values from 0 to 1 in the console. The first output, called out, triggers once at the start. Let's connect a print block to it, which will print start in the console. The tick output sends a signal every tick from the start to the end. Every tick means 60 times per second. The done output will trigger once after the loop is finished. And the last output, value, sends the current interval value. I'll set the interval from 0 to 1. I'll leave the duration value at the default 1, meaning 1 second. If I start the game and press the spacebar, a long list of values from 0 to 1 will appear in the console. If I reverse the values, the console will display values from 1 to 0. In the duration field, you can select the time. If you reduce this value to 1/10, the list will be 10 times shorter. But it will still be evenly distributed from 0 to 1. Let's go back to the main scene. Don't forget to switch to the Game Init logic branch. Connect the 0 key to the start input. Add a range from 0 to 1. Set the time to 1 second. Connect the tick output to the input on the set material value parameter block. Connect the value output to the float input. Copy the tween float block and connect it to the second key. Enter the reverse range from 1 to 0. Start the game. Test the keys. Now the spaceship smoothly disappears and reappears. It looks great, doesn't it? Now, the final touch. The reason I'm explaining all this is for the spaceship to appear at the start through a smooth change in opacity. After creation, the spaceship should be completely transparent. Therefore, we must set the transparency to 1 right after spawn. Note that we cannot do this before the object is created, because the object doesn't exist yet. Now, increase the opacity from 1 to 0 over the course of a second. Don't forget to specify the player image object. Also, make sure to specify the material for both opacity change blocks. Start the game. Does it look better now? Well, that's it. Let's take a break. Goodbye for now.